So you mentioned power of attorney documents. These are important, and people typically think when I'm a certain age, I will need those. But you have some information about how important those are at any age.
Yeah, I do. And so, my own life comes to mind, my children, my wife. And so our youngest child turned 18. This has been a few years ago. He turned 18, graduated, had his last visit at the pediatrician's office, all within about a week's period of time. And so my son could go to the doctor by himself, no problem. He drives. And my wife would simply call and say, well, what's the result of the visit? And they would tell her. So he had turned 18. I think he went to the doctor. He was 17, and the next day was his birthday. So she called. And of course, we live in Harrison, a small town. Knew the young lady that was the receptionist and had a lot of contact with the doctor's office. And the young lady said, sorry, I can't tell you anything. And she said, I'm his mother. And she said, he's 18. He didn't give you authorization to get his records. Well, he couldn't give her authorization because he was only 17 years old the day before. Today, he's 18, and he hadn't given it today. So in any event, what occurred then for that child is we immediately drafted healthcare power of attorney, a HIPAA, and we drafted a statutory power of attorney for him to sign to give us the ability to, make financial decisions for him, make healthcare decisions for him, in the HIPAA, so we could get information from him. And so, our through the progression of life, my oldest child is not married, and I am her agent for decisions and for healthcare. My middle child is now married and has a child of his own, so his wife is his primary agent. Ian, the youngest, his wife is his agent now because he's married. And so, that is the progression of planning. And my children all now have, I'm going to call it a full set of power of attorneys. They have statutory power of attorneys. They have general durable power of attorneys. And yes, they're full financial toolboxes, even though we would say it's not likely that they're going to need those things. They might. So I'm going to fill their toolbox up. They have a healthcare power of attorney. They have a HIPAA. They have a living will, which I think is vitally important to have. Thank you, Bambi. And if our audience would like help with power of attorney documents, Medicaid planning, or estate planning, they can call the office of Mitch Cash in Harrison at 870-704-4058 and Marshall at 870-448-3600. We look forward to hearing from you.